and welcome to the Celestial Tea Podcast.
I'm Love.
And I'm Tylen.
And we're two Los Angeles-based astrologers and witches serving up the cosmic tea about your favorite celebrities, musicians, and artists.
As always, if you enjoy our hot takes and breakdowns, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you stream, share with your friends and fam, and follow us on all the socials.
So if you're a pop culture baddie, tune in, get your cup of tea, and get ready to sip from the stars. Hello, welcome to the Celestial Tea. We're gonna be upfront with you.
Tea is so fucking hot. Okay, here we go.
This week's tea is a flavor we don't like. It's you know how you're just like, oh, I love black tea, but I hate green tea. Like this is our I hate green tea episode. Like,
but we're doing it for y'all.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's still we know it's like a big deal for a lot of people, and we're not gonna hide our distaste for these famous people, but we're not going to like flay them for no reason. You know?
Yes, because we are astrologers. So at the end of the day, what we're doing is just providing that celestial tea for y'all to sip on.
Yeah, we're not indoctrinating you like we think this person does. We're just giving you the knowledge to make your own decisions.
Yes, because all the information, it's already all out there. The pictures, they're already up, you know, like, you can read between the lines if you want. You can.
Can you separate the art from the artist?
Yeah.
All right. So today we're talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
We don't have their exact birth times for either of them. But Tylen was saying that there's a widely used time for Taylor Swift's birth time, yes. And that's the one that we're going with because it seems to make a lot of sense about who she is.
Yes.
And for Travis, Tylen has made her own like educated guess.
Yes, because there's absolutely nothing on the internet that suggests any kind of timing for Travis, but I did generate a chart for him on my guess, so... Yeah. We'll get into it. We'll spill the tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you wanna talk about their synastry first, or like separates, or just their synastry?
Let's get into their separate pieces and then chat about how it all overlays together.
Isn't that like that's a thing with the triangles? That's a name for the shape that she has. It's like almost like a kite, but it's not.
What are you talking about? There's no kite here.
I know. No, I'm saying like it's giving me like sailboat vibes. I wonder if that's like a thing.
It's just an opposition. A major opposition.
Yeah. It's a lot. Okay. I'm just looking at her chart right now. So
yeah, this is Love's first introduction.
I mean, I know she's a Cancer moon. I knew that.
I honestly didn't really look at her chart that much either in preparation for this.
Sorry. We need to take this seriously.
I know all the Swifties are going to be listening to this like...
No, we were having a really good conversation about their synastry, so I'm actually excited to like get into it. And their human design too. Yeah,
because they have the same nodal axis. They're in their Jupiter return right now. Mm-hmm. They both have Jupiter exalted. So yeah, we're going to spill the tea on that. But yeah, let's get into her chart. So yeah, her big three, Cancer moon, Sag sun, and then... with this birth time that everyone uses, Scorpio rising, which to me makes a lot of freaking sense. I mean, look at her facial structure, her eyes, and we've talked a lot about this for Scorpio rising people in the past, like Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, the intense blue eyes.
Vanessa Kirby. I guessed that she was a Scorpio rising. There is that level of intensity, and Taylor Swift definitely embodies that intensity, and with that comes the alluring frequency. People that are Scorpio risings have that magnetic quality to them where people are just drawn to their energy, but then people are also triggered by them, right?
Yeah, it just depends on like like how you like the energy. Do you like it and you find it mysterious and curious, or are you like, oh my god, this is too much?
Yes. So with that, with this particular time that we're given, her ascendant point is in the third decan of Scorpio, a decan ruled by Venus, which Venus normally has her detriment here in Scorpio, but yet she rules over this third decan, which is really interesting because in the tarot, this corresponds to the Seven of Cups. So here we see a figure who's shadowy, and then there's these other cups that are here representing the love of shadow work, the love of going to the depths. And we really see that reflected in Taylor's work.
Yeah.
This woman has done hella shadow work, y'all. And we see it because she's so open about
her wounds. Yeah.
Exactly. Going to the depths in her own consciousness and then pouring it out on paper.
Yeah. And everyone gets used to like, oh, when she breaks up, there's going to be a new album. Yep. Like that's the way that she's transmuting that with the Scorpio, like the transformation alchemy energy. She's like, okay, this hurts. I need to get it out. I need to make it cathartic so I can get past it.
Yes. And it's interesting too because there's a love of desire and desire medicine with this ascendant point as well.
A lot of her music is about like desiring a mate, a partner, a love, a life.
And playing with those dynamics. And the other aspect with the Seven of Cups as her embodiment card, it reflects this quality of uncovering illusions. And I feel like she does that with her music as well.
Yeah, she like reclaims a lot of things.
Yes. And she does share messages, right, within her music. And the Swifties, they know all about this with the Easter eggs, the like little hidden things that she puts into her music. And if you are a Swiftie, you'll be able to tell us more about that because we're not so well versed in that. But in her astrology, it does show that she has the capacity for that. And her ascendant point is conjunct Mars.
Oh.
And Mars is domicile in Scorpio. Yeah. It's a sign of ambition, being very driven, having a lot of energy, which we also discuss this with Sydney Sweeney because she's also Scorpio rising with her ascendant point conjunct Mars.
You know what? And they have like similar childhoods too, where we were reading about Taylor Swift, like she wanted to be like an actress. And she like strategically made these moves to like get lessons and to go to a certain school and like to keep opening up the opportunities for her. And then when she saw that like Faith Hill documentary, she said like it made her want to like redirect her goal. Like literally she was cognizantly aware of like as a like young adult or like child. I can't remember how old she was, but she was like, I want to shift my career and become a singer like this woman. So she like has that goal and she's like, I'm going to get it. Like I'll get there. And you know what?
Yes.
Technically the engagement is one of those things too, right? Like she never gave up on like her vision and her story that she wanted to have for her love story. And she's like legitimately getting that before our eyes.
Yes. Yeah. And you're right. She didn't give up even though now she's in her mid-30s, right? So that's, that driven energy is so strong within her. But something we did talk about with Sydney is this quality of burnout, like using all of your life force, all of your energy, going for that one thing, and then needing times to just recover, literally recoup your body, which is interesting with Taylor Swift because she does go on these big tours, and her Eras tour, I mean, to be able to shift through that many costumes and keep singing for like 4 hours or something, you're singing, like that is literally a physical feat.
And she's a projector in human design, and they don't have a lot of energy. Like they have a fixed amount of energy.
I feel like she does need all the time, like at home, cozy with her cats, just literally revitalizing her physical energy. But it still indicates that she is a soul that is so motivated to go after whatever her goals are. And clearly she has built a massive empire. Yeah. She has so much influence and impact, which, yeah. There's questionings here around how she's utilizing that impact, but she has it, right?
So, that's our questioning. Yeah, if you weren't sure. Well, there's a lot of people on the internet who think that, like, she's here for a government agenda.
Interesting. I haven't heard that theory.
Okay, what's yours?
Well, I don't want to make the Swifties mad. I just want to read her chart.
Okay. All right.
But I haven't heard the government theory. I do know, though, like, one of the big games that she went to, I think one of the first games she supported Travis is when they did a massive bombing. Mm-hmm. So it was like a distraction, mm-hmm. which that felt really...
government agenda.
Ugh, that felt gross. Because everyone's, like, so excited, like, watching the two of them at the game when really these, like, horrible things are happening. When she, as someone who is so driven and has this power, could create change, like, because she could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially now. Like, that's why a lot of people really enjoy her, like, philanthropy mm-hmm. and her speaking out. You know, like, she was one of the celebrities to endorse Barack Obama. She was, like, endorsing other Democratic mm-hmm. Candidates since him. And she was, like, very, like, mm-hmm. pro-choice and, like, feminism and stuff. I know a lot of people are like, she's, like, white feminism, and that's pretty on brand. But a lot of people get stuck on the fact that, like, she donated her money so she's able to create big impact and change and influence.
Yes.
And her tours were, like, weren't they? There was, like, a whole thing around that too. Mm. Like, they had to, like, change the law about tracking celebrities' like flight patterns because of how people were tracking her flight for the Eras tour, I think. And like there was like a big thing around like the ticket thing with Ticketmaster there, and like the fair pricing for like the fans. There was a lot of influence in these things.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot to unpack within those realms, but I want to keep to her birth chart, like keep diving into this. Because another one of the reasons why I say that she is so powerful and has the capacity to make change is because look at this. She has Pluto also here in Scorpio in her first house.
And her human design purpose, her incarnation cross, literally is about that.
Creating change and transformation.
She has the left angle cross of confrontation, which means she's here for collective destiny. She can't fulfill her destiny without other people. But with it, the energy that she brings is to confront rulership and impose rulership of her own. Her energy is designed to have a hard edge because she's supposed to be able to take on powerful people who should be questioned, which she literally she did that when that Scotty guy took her first 6 albums, right? Yeah. Like she was like, this is not, I'm going to court. And then her energy is also designed to be provocative because from provocation comes justification. So it's about like fixing things to like how she wants them or how she sees them. Yes. So she has like a deeper understanding of information, what people are about, what they stand for. And so like her energy is confrontational because it's supposed to help get to like the bottom of things.
Yes. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with Pluto.
Yeah. Pluto's also a planet of the unknown, of secrets, mysteries, uncovering things. We were already talking about that, about being able to do that. So it definitely tracks with her incarnation.
And she also has Hera here, who is considered to be domicile in Scorpio. She rules over both Libra and Scorpio. And then Black Moon Lilith, who is the archetypal energy of the dark feminine, the wild goddess, who is in and of herself confrontational. Yeah. She's meant to provoke.
Yeah. I feel like that's why so many people like her, because like she was unapologetically herself and was like, I don't agree with these things, or like, I don't think this should happen. And people really were like on her side for that.
Yeah. But yet now she's making pictures with MAGA people, posting and like hanging out. So that's an interesting kind of twist, right? Like what's actually happening there.
Yeah. Well, she's growing and changing. Like, so she, maybe because where she is in her life, how much money she has, I feel like when people have a certain amount of money, they just go down that slippery slope.
That's true. That's the Pluto Hades, the Lord of the Underworld, is the keeper of the wealth. And when you access that realm, it can show you the shadow sides. And that's also the embodiment card for her ascendant point, the 7 of Cups, right?
The shadow piece, yeah.
Yeah.
And that totally tracks too with her incarnation cross about uncovering and provoking with the 7 of Cups energy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. And I think that's also why so many souls reflect that back to her.
Yeah.
Sort of like what I just said, right? People are reflecting that back to her, provoking it and asking the questions and being like, what do you actually stand for?
Yeah.
What is your truth?
But I also feel like she provokes, I feel like a big reason why a lot of people really enjoy her music and find an emotional connection is because she's also provoking truths within them through her understandings.
100%. That is her Cancer moon in her 9th house, conjunct Jupiter, who's exalted here in Cancer.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, so...
big feelings.
That's what I was going to say. Massive. But then the 9th house is the house of truth. It's a house of teaching, higher levels of consciousness, publishing.
And expansion, too.
Yes. So...
I feel like it's like big feelings, but also like she gets luck or prosperity the more she processes her feelings, the more she shares her feelings and teaches, like literally what she does in her music.
Yes.
Sharing her feelings, putting them out there, helping others heal through them. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm sure that so many Swifties out there have their favorite quote that they replay over and over again, or have it as their phone background screen that they've learned from, that's helped them heal.
Yeah. And this tracks with her profile line for human design. So she's a 5-1, which is known as the challenge solver. So 5 lines are natural karmic solvers or healers, pattern seers. They're here to, what on the most basic plane, what human design readers call turning data or information into light, into useful information for others. So they're here to like take what they know. So her being the 1 line, that's like the researcher. So the investigator, they want to find out, get in the nitty gritty, like she does that with her feelings, right? Getting in there, writing it all out, sharing little nuggets, finding the truth, hiding it in there, and then sharing it, putting it out into the world for others. That's very same as the 9th house moon, right? Like I'm here to share my knowledge with others. That's the 5 line. They're literally the teacher archetype in the human design profiles. So that's why it's like challenge solver, because it's like, I'm going to do my research. I'm going to come back to you with the answer.
Yes. Interesting. And I think what's also really notable about this is her capacity to be really vulnerable, which is essentially going back to what you just shared, is like through that vulnerability, like people receive the deeper truths or the deeper insights.
Yeah.
So the more vulnerable she is, the more her teachings expand, which we see. I mean, she has shared so many personal details through
of her journey,
her music. So yeah. And the other piece with the Cancer medicine is that Cancerian energy is really all about safety and providing safety, providing nurturance. And so it feels like that's a part of what she's here to do as well, with this sharing of the music. And the wounded piece is interesting too, because Chiron is also here in Cancer in her 9th house. So that's why I'm bringing up this level of vulnerability, because I'm sure in the beginning for her, while yes, she has Mars in her ascendant domicile, there is a drive and that ability to go forth and just do the thing. It still was probably very painful for her to share the heartbreak, and I'm sure there was probably a learning curve for Taylor in that ability to be so outspoken with the heartbreak and share the wounding. But the more she does that, it creates a safe space for other people to see those teachings reflected back in what she's sharing. So yeah. Wait, what's coming up?
Her main gene key, her main gift in this lifetime is the gate of the egoist. So they have the ability to sell anything by seeing its potential and marketing it. If they put their energy towards something, they need to make sure that they're rewarded for their abilities and effort. They can get to a place where they don't have to work at all by earning passive income.
Yeah.
They may not always be able to read the room or figure out who they should sell to, but in collaboration, they will make it happen.
Yep. Wow.
And she's a splenic projector. I'm going to see if she has this gate. Go ahead.
So the other thing with the Cancerian placements is that they are in opposition to this Capricorn stellium that she has in her third house. So she's got Mercury here in Capricorn, Uranus, Eros, Saturn, and Neptune. So it's so interesting that she has this outer planet conjunction with her mind and the way she expresses herself, because while she has these massive and big feelings, she's here to express herself in a way that is efficient, right? It's like a lyric of a song being able to say so much, but it's one sentence. Yeah. That's the efficiency of Capricorn, the productivity of Capricorn.
And I also feel like the outer planets, especially like the Neptune, it's like crafting the vibe or the fantasy through the narrative. Like she has a lot of songs like that touch on like different narratives or like fantasies.
It's world building. Yeah. I think every album is a different
theme.
Yeah. Thing that she pours into. So
that totally tracks.
Yeah, I just think that that's so interesting, this piece about her mind operating in that way. And it's also interesting because she's taking that vulnerability, and then in that opposition there's a friction at the end of the day to be a businesswoman. That is what Taylor Swift is. That's that gate. She has the gate of selling. That's Capricorn. Capricorn energy is boss, babe, CEO vibes. Yeah,
it's the gate of instinctual selling that she has.
Yeah.
Like when she's in front of people talking to them, she can sense things about them and she can get to where she needs to go. She can sell anything.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that is really what she has built, is a corporation. It is a business. She's already pre-selling, I think, stuff for her next album, right? Like,
but it's like even what we were just talking about in the lyrics in her song, she's selling us the idea, the fantasy, and we're in it. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, I love it.
Yeah. And then the Uranus piece is interesting because Uranus is the great awakener, shaking things up. Uranus has humanitarian values. So I'm just wondering when that piece is going to start coming into play for her in her life, if it is something she'll take on as...
Well, she still does all the philanthropy, and she's like had the whole thing about like being super fair to her tour people, and she does share like political and like you know, bodily autonomy things, like positivity, like pro-choice and feminism and like democratic values.
Those are humanitarian values. I just feel like because it's showing up in such this big way, and the other piece to this is she has her South Node in Leo in her 10th house. So she has spent many lifetimes developing herself in the public eye, developing her career, developing her talents, right? Leo is the performer. So I feel like she does have the capacity to make even more change. And I think that's why so many souls are seeing that and saying, okay, like what's up, Taylor, you know? Like,
yeah. And she has the channel of struggle, which is about like fighting for what you believe in the world and stuff like that. So it makes sense why, I know like we're like judging her for like she needs to stand up more and be about it more, but like in the time
judging, I really am not.
I mean, but like in the time where she stood out as like pro-choice, like that's like against the grain, you know, like that's like we're here now in 2025 where all the celebrities speaking up for all the genocides going on in the world, right? This is a short list. So I think for her to at least be like, you know what? No, this is what I believe in. Like that is really about this gate. It's about being like stubborn, being true to what you want to create, knowing like where your boundaries are, what's best for you. It says they might fear death and running out of time, but it'll make them be even more of like a achiever because of that. So we totally see that. And then it says these people thrive when they push themselves physically. That strenuous exercise is good for them. So that actually is that's like a big piece for, even though she's a projector and projectors have like a very limited amount of energy because the work that they do in guiding and seeking out the truth and projecting it into other people is very intense. They need a lot of alone time and like recuperation time. This channel will give her more energy than a normal splenic projector because she likes to like push her body more. She's actually going to seem more like a generator. Yeah, interesting. Because of this channel she has. And then there's like one other channel that I wanted to look up.
Yeah, that makes sense to what I was feeling for her with the ascendant conjunct Mars, to needing that time to recuperate her energy, really.
The other channel she has is the channel of judgment. She's supposed to be here to improve life on Earth. It's to make the world a better place instead of judging and criticizing in your personal life. So that kind of makes sense, right? Like through her music, she's taking what she doesn't like going on in her personal life and she's using that as a story or an emotional connector to help make the world better, right? It's enriching so many people's lives to hear what she went through and find solace or find empathy or find themselves in it, right? And this one is also about burning the energy through physical exercise, to be balanced and grounded. So she has 2 gates out of, I believe she only has 3 total gates or channels, She has 2 of her 3 channels are really big on exercise and pushing your body. So she's going to be like way more energetic than a regular projector will be because of this. And they're both in her spleen, which she's a splenic projector. So it's like with her authority. So like she's going to be very in tune with the spleen rules over the present moment and the instinct.
Yeah.
So like she's gonna be like, I need to do this. She probably is like, I need to go run around, or like I need to go like yell it off or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, how else could she do all those tours and all those outfit changes and sing for as long as she does? That is literally a physical exercise. Yeah. That is a feat. Yeah. Like, that is a warrior-esque, literally.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, same as, yeah. And it says, like, she, it's interesting. They said you should challenge your conditioning from your caregivers about ideas of perfectionism. So that she might see what's wrong, but not always know what the solution is.
The perfectionism piece is interesting because her MC is in Virgo. In the 11th house. So for her to have her MC in the 11th house, it is all about the community. And I think one of those lines also talked about that piece around community. But then the Virgoan piece relates to the perfectionism. So,
yeah. And with community, with the collective, having her midhaven in the 11th house, and then also having the left angle cross where like her purpose is a collective purpose. Like that totally. Yes. I love how astrology and human design just like sing together.
Yes. Yeah, there's so many threads that weave. Yeah. And the collective purpose is interesting too because like I was sharing earlier, her south node being in the 10th house of Leo it indicates, she knows what it means to share her gifts. She's been developed in the public eye. But then the North Node is where your soul is here to evolve. And so for her, it's in her Aquarius 4th house. And so Aquarius energy is all about community. It is all about the humanitarian values and our connections with one another. So that piece is really interesting because the roots, the home is the foundation. And so what you just said, it's like the world being a better place. The roots, the home here on this earthly plane being a better place, which is why it's like I really don't feel like I am casting judgment. I am just making a statement as a fact that yes, Taylor, you do have all of this power and this influence, and we as astrologers can see it in this chart, at least if this is your exact birth time, which it might not be. So
yeah, this all could be fake.
Exactly.
I mean, she'll still be a projector, but everything else, and she'll still have the left angle cross.
But she is giving Scorpio rising, though. So
she also, the only gene key she has defined in her throat is gene key 45, which is the gate of the gatherer. So it's the ability to show your community how to come together and create prosperity. So like, and it says like you're at the top, these people belong at the top of the hierarchy. They're big picture people. They're not day-to-day people. And they thrive when they have a support team to manage their affairs. So it's like she's past that part. She's thriving. I feel like we felt that like shift when she got like to a certain point where it was like a supportive environment for her. But she's all like, that is her throat. So the gene keys that we have in our throat are the gifts that we have, that when we speak, people will be more inclined to listen. So her having this gene key, in the only one activated in her throat around community and around like being at the top and how people like worship her and like see, like that very much so tracks for me, like how people go so hard for her. Like it's like the Swifties and the beehive from Beyonce, right? I like the beehive because it's like it shows like the queen bee and then the bees. It's like that, right? Like she is speaking and the other people are like, you know, going into the chat rooms and defending her and doing all these things. And I know she has like a team of actual like people that she has on her tours, but we even saw that, how she likes to treat them really well and create a good working environment for them. At least for what we know.
For Taylor, the people that she has close to her, her family, her friends, the people that she trusts, and making sure that those connections are so strong and rooted, that's a part of her evolution. Having her North Node in Aquarius in her 4th house. Yeah. Like for her, if she experiences betrayal within her close friends and family, that would probably feel like such a heartache, right? And that's probably the speaks to the Chiron in her Cancer 9th house, right? Like that feeling. But it does seem like she's gotten to a point where she's been able to sort of cultivate that for herself. So yeah, that piece is interesting.
And she's even using this gate of the gatherer with Travis Kelce, right? Like we saw when they started dating, how all the Swifties were watching football and how it was like skyrocketing their views and like people tuning in and stuff because they just wanted to see her. So it's like she was like harnessing her community power just by being herself. You know, the easeful thing of how you're saying with the gate of the gatherer, they're not their big picture, they're not day to day, to bring more prosperity for her partner.
Yeah, it's interesting too. She has Venus and Vesta also here in Aquarius in her 4th house, and Venus and Vesta are in a conjunction. So that piece is really interesting because in love and relationships, Taylor really does require a lot of space, like a lot of freedom for her to just do her own thing. And like, so I think that piece is interesting because the Aquarius is that quality of the big picture. It is that energy of spaciousness. And then Vesta here is the quality of wholeness, right? Like Vesta is the archetypal energy of the high priestess, and she's someone who rejected Apollo, rejected Poseidon. She's like, no, like I am whole in my own energy. So for Taylor, that's how she's meant to be in a relationship dynamic, is in her wholeness, but respected through this spaciousness and a love that is sort of unique. It's quirky. That's the Aquarius energy. Like Venus,
and I feel like
Aquarius,
they have that together.
Yeah.
And Travis.
Venus, Aquarius, they love things that are sort of off the beaten path, eccentric, wild.
Or like people who are just like themselves unapologetically.
Yes, authentic.
Yeah. Like if that's why it's like, if you're weird, it's fine because that's who you are.
Yeah, that's honestly what Taylor loves. And her home, she probably, because the fourth house is the home, the roots, she probably has a very like welcoming environment. People that have Venus in their fourth house, they tend to be amazing hosts. Like they have like usually they'll be able to create beauty in their home space, right? Because Venus is the archetypal energy of beauty and love and harmony. So that's really important for Taylor. But then the Aquarius piece adds on the layer of like eccentric art pieces, maybe. Or I'm getting the vibe that Taylor is probably someone who likes to like cook for people, or like that's the Venus energy of like wanting to host and provide that sort of nourishment in that way. But then maybe it's food or things that are just sort of her own unique recipes. That's the Aquarius energy, that uniqueness. So I don't know, Swifties, let us know. Is that the case? I don't know.
I know, I was trying to Google it right now, but they're just showing like what houses she owns, but they're not like telling us what's inside of them.
Multiple houses. Yeah. So
her portfolio of real estate.
All of the quirky art pieces on the walls, we won't be able to see all that, but yeah.
I started looking at their synastry already. I had a sneaking suspicion. So in human design synastry, we can see a lot from like what gene keys you have and what gene keys I have, and do they create channels, like how I just went over like her 3 channels that she has. And when I was talking about her gene key 45, the one that she has in her throat, the gatherer one, I was like, I bet Travis has the one that completes this.
Ooh.
Because it's called, which he does. He completes this channel for her. It's called the money line. Because I was talking about how like them being together increased like viewership for the NFL and stuff. And I was like, I see. So the gene key 21 is the one that he has, which is the gate of the hunter or the huntress. So they thrive when they're managing resources, controlling resources. They are able, without the responsibility of owning them. So like he would be like a good like manager or like consultant or like trust, someone who runs a trust or something. So they're designed to be the boss, but it won't feel good to have to tell other people what to do. So they have to have space to take control of the situation. But together with those 2 gene keys, it's called the money line, where they just make money through willpower. It says you work best alone and you don't like people to control you. So it's like when they're probably on the same page about things, they'll be pulling in a lot more money, because it says you prosper financially when you do everything yourself. So like if they do it all their own way, if they, are involved in the process and they put it out together themselves, then they're going to do really well. And then, it says they're supposed to be focused on themselves. So it's interesting because I know a lot of people have been saying like, it seems like he's just like really like enthralled by her and like really into her. So it's like with them completing this gene key together, it could either be that they're focused on themselves more when they're together, so it feels like, oh, I'm supporting you, you're supporting me, we get to keep making more money together because we just get to independently do our own things together.
100%.
Or they might prosper when they come together and both of them are working at one goal as one mind. To me it feels more like the first one, where they're both doing their own separate things,
but then supporting each other in that spaciousness.
Which, again, same example, the NFL stuff, how, like,
exactly.
now everyone knows who he is. Before, everyone was like, who, only football people knew who he was.
Exactly. Yeah. And the shared values piece is interesting because if it is true that Taylor Swift is a Scorpio rising, then Taurus would be her 7th house. And while she has no placements in Taurus, this still suggests that for Taylor, a healthy relationship dynamic, it does suggest that there are shared values because Taurus does rule over belief systems and values and this connection to the material realm. And she also has her Sagittarius sun in the 2nd house.
Of values.
Of values, exactly. So, and of self-worth, which I think that that's the beautiful part of Taylor Swift's journey is that by her shining her light in that way, she has definitely, that's the beautiful thing. She has shown a lot of young women how to embrace their connection to self-worth.
Yeah. And that's probably why she feels good in this connection with him, because of this channel that they create together of like, I can do me and I can prosper. So she probably feels like it's like a really safe, you know, like very adult type of connection where it's like we come together but we don't like tell each other to what to do or whatever, which there could be there, that could be there because it says you need to communicate, otherwise you might get frustrated or angry about like where you're going and what you're doing with this particular channel. So there could be a little bit of that if they're not communicating like what all they got going on and what they're wanting to build.
Yes. I'm just feeling psychically, it just feels like Taylor needs so much space. Like a lot of spaciousness.
She might have like valleys. I didn't look up her preferred environments, but she does have passive environments, so like changing, moving, non-structured. But I didn't look up to see. That's another website I have to pull it up on. Yeah,
it's like they could still have a strong bond and not see each other for a whole month because Taylor's touring, he's traveling, yada yada yada. They have all this space, but then their bond is still strong. That's sort of the vibe that it feels like. Yeah. So do we want to start looking at his chart? Oh, I should say too that Taylor's life path is 7, and that indicates then that her life card is the Chariot, which is a card related to Cancerian medicine, which is all about breaking through barriers, trusting your instinct, going after things. But then the 7 medicine is definitely a spiritual number. It speaks a lot to introspection. And I feel like Taylor does spend a lot of time alone, just connecting to her intuition and letting herself be a channel for all of the songs to come through. And I think that that's something that definitely is something that all of us like could appreciate, because she does write her own music. How many artists out there just rely on other people to write their songs, right? Like
that's true.
She channels all of it. And I'm sure some of it she does back and forth and like brainstorms with other people, but I think she spends a lot of time in solitude alone, being able to let that channel flow through. And another thing that's interesting, so her guardian angel, so if you also were born between December 13th and December 16th, you will also have this guardian angel, the 53rd angel, Nanael, who is known as the aspect of source consciousness that is all about spiritual communication. So this angel governs over the high sciences, humor, meditation, and the abstract arts. So I think that piece is really interesting, because this angel that rules over spiritual communication is Taylor Swift's guardian angel, supporting her in receiving that insight, which she channels through for her music. I'm also wondering if Taylor Swift is someone who believes in signs from the universe and things sort of being in this synchronized flow, because I'm feeling that for Taylor, the understanding of what her signs are and then being able to sort of trust that and follow the signs. The Swifties will probably know that one, but yeah. So are we ready to move on to Travis? Okay.
Yeah. I just looked up. He literally only has one channel.
What? How is that possible?
He's just a single definition. He only has, for a generator, I mean, this is like the time that we suppose he was born, right? So, but for a generator, he only has 2 defined energy centers, and he only needs one channel to connect them. So
interesting.
He's simple. He's giving golden retriever energy. Simple needs.
Okay, yeah, we were talking about that before we started recording, that Travis is giving golden retriever vibes, because I was telling Love that there's a whole theory, the Gaylors out there, who thought that Taylor and this woman named Carly Cross thought that they were hooking up. And yeah, there's a whole theory that Taylor is bi or queer. I saw, like, when the engagement was posted, an article that said, like, Gaylor is dead.
No. Just because you get married doesn't mean you're not gay anymore.
But the thing is, and we've talked about this, like, I also, as a bi queer woman, my partner Josh is hella golden retriever vibes. He's literally the definition, golden retriever vibes. And I feel like Travis Kelce is giving golden retriever vibes. So
everyone says that, even online. They're like, yeah,
is Gaylor actually dead? Swifties, weigh in.
I'm like, okay, being a Sag, being a Scorpio rising, I could see that. But like a Cancer moon could be more traditional, right? Because Cancer rules the past and nostalgia and tradition.
But she has Jupiter conjunct her, and you know how Jupiter is.
Yeah.
Jupiter be out there.
He freaky. His 2 signs Jupiter are like the freaky ones.
Come on. And then Chiron there, is there a wounding with? I don't know.
I was seeing some weird sexual stuff right now.
Okay, spill the tea.
I was seeing that she just likes to be worshipped.
Yes.
Like what I was seeing, like pouring like water on her, like wet things on her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like worshipping her, like her genitalia.
I saw that. See that.
I saw her like back bending on the bed.
I feel like Taylor Swift's soul, she has this warrior-esque kind of energy.
So it's like wanting to submit.
That's giving this like bow down to me, vibes in the bedroom.
Yeah. And I feel like she is soft. It's funny because it's like, I find most people who are like intense in their daily life, they're like softer in the bedroom. But I feel like it's kind of reversed for her. Like she comes off as a little soft, or people perceive her as that way, but maybe she's more intense, you know?
I don't know. She gives it, like, she comes off kind of intense just in the way that she does her career, like how she's able
we saw
to
with her
maintain...
incarnation cross, it was like an provocative energy.
Exactly. That's why I feel like this timing could be accurate, and I feel like she could be a Scorpio rising.
I think so.
She's either a Scorpio rising or a Cap rising and has all of those planets in her first house.
Yeah.
Like,
which
I don't see any other way.
Yeah. But she looks more Scorpionic than Cap.
That's why I feel like that timing
Cap,
is
she would have like more like angular features, not rounded.
Yeah. She has the Scorpionic intensity in her eyes and the watery eyes.
But she does have roundedness from the Cancer moon.
Yeah.
So there's that too.
Yeah. So what do you think about Travis, though? Because we don't have a confirmed birth time.
I think, like, after hearing what you were saying about what you picked for his rising, it makes sense. I mean, again, I don't know too much about him.
I mean, like, very little.
For a football player, he's, like, pretty, right? So the Libra, let me gaze upon him.
Let me gaze. Let's look
gaze
at some
upon
pictures.
his visage.
Okay, so his victory,
oh, it's like a jump scare. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It is kind of a jump scare.
Libra sun, Sagittarius moon, which because Taylor, because Taylor is a Sag sun, they have their sun and their moon, her sun, his moon in a conjunction. That's pretty good synastry. But my guess for his rising sign, I'm throwing it out there, Libra rising. I feel like he is an air rising. And then the charmingness to his essence, I feel like he is a very charming, flirty, beauty aesthetic.
He does. He has like the traditional pretty Libra vibes.
That's why I feel like he's a Libra. I told Love, I said he's either a Libra rising or a Leo rising.
Are Libras like seen as like big though? Because he is kind of big, like built.
Libra men can be, because that's a part of the
because The Rock is a Libra rising, but he's also a Taurus. He's a Taurus.
Libra rising, yes.
Yeah, and they have kind of the similar kind of like big man prettiness.
Yes,
that's why I was like, I agree with you.
Like, he doesn't give like he's an Earth sign rising though.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah. He doesn't feel grounded like that. No.
He feels very airy to me, but I'm like, oh, he's not a Gemini rising. He's not Aquarius rising. Libra rising is the vibe. And another reason why that felt more accurate to me is because he is a Libra sun, and the sun is considered to be in detriment in the sign of Libra, right? Because the sun, in fall in the sign of Libra, because the sun exalts in the sign of Aries. So opposite to that, Libra, this is an identity that loves to create harmony and peace in relationship dynamics, but having the sun in the first house, this just creates this aura about you that you are here to shine and take up space, especially in the realms of the beauty, the harmony, the peace, the aesthetics. So that to me felt more accurate than having like a Libra sun like in the fourth house or something, right? Like it's right there, it's in your face, it's charming. So yeah, that to me felt accurate. And I did a pendulum, like I worked with the pendulum to test the timing, and what was coming up was 8:45 a.m. So with this chart, the ascendant point is in the third decan of Scorpio, a decan ruled by Jupiter, which to me also felt very accurate. And then Black Moon Lilith would be conjunct his ascendant point.
Yeah, it says that he likes to vibe and dance in the end zone. He had this like custom outfit, this custom jacket.
So Libra
That's
rising.
all I'm saying. I'm finding proof for you. I'm finding proof for you.
So Libra rising.
He had this custom jacket made by this label that had 1989 like on it, because that's both of their birth years, and it's like one of her album names. So it's like,
come on.
Yeah, it's like very Libra rising as fuck. It's like this whole white outfit, and it's like watercolor stuff on the back.
Libra risings love their fashion. They will get that custom
and also the having fun.
Yes,
like just
charming,
vibing,
that's what I mean,
charming.
charming.
Yeah, and the only channel that he has in his chart is the channel of rhythm, which these people have a natural magnetism, and
that's that Libra,
a unique rhythm, and when they stay in flow with things, there's like harmony that feels effortless, and so it's like the more you move to your own rhythms, the more you have divine timing, and then other people will get pulled into your flow when they're in your aura with this. This is the only channel he has, so like people probably around him are like like he's kind of like the guy, especially with the Libra rising and Libra sun. It's like he's the guy that's like you have such a good time when you hang out with him, and like you don't know what it is. You're just vibing. You're feeling it too because he's pulling you into his rhythm that he feels.
Yes, that's also that Sag moon. And especially a rejoicing moon. Y'all, the moon rejoices in the third house, the house of the goddess. And I feel like that's such a good time. Yeah, like let's just have fun, have an adventure, explore. Yeah. Be playful.
And I'm kind of familiar with this because my main gene key is 15, which is one half of the gate of rhythm. So it's about like you need freedom in your schedule. You need to do different things all the time and operate to your own rhythms. And then the gate 5 is about like fixed patterns, like needing certain routines for health and things like that. So he has to like he has with this channel his own rhythm that he'll find, which I think is really cool for sports, right? For football. Like there is one mind that a team has to operate under. Like I played sports in high school, and it's like we have to live and breathe as an organism, a well-oiled machine that works together. And I feel like football, because you're like running and you're like in this rhythm of like moving down the field, like dodging people, you know, understanding passes, knowing who you're covering and all these different things. Like I feel like that's very like on brand. That probably makes it make sense why he's so good at his job. I'm like, let me look up what like position he plays because I don't really know. But
it is true that he's a Libra rising, this would put his Leo South node in his 11th house, which speaks so beautifully to that because it's like he knows his talents, he knows his ability. But with the South node in the 11th house, you also know what it's like to be in a community, to be on a team, to be able to amplify everyone else's gifts.
Yeah, it says he's a tight end, so it's like he's helping.
What does that mean? I'm like, I don't know football.
I'm pretty sure the tight end like keeps certain like edges. Offensive lineman and wide receiver. So wide receiver is like all the way at the end, like catching. Offensive lineman, you're like in the line that's like pushing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think. Offensive line. They're like, eligible to catch passes and be valuable weapons. He's kind of like a shortstop. He's like a hybrid player.
That's the Mars on his sun then, like that ability to defend.
Yes. Yeah, and that's protect. Also the channel of rhythm. He gets to choose. He can have the ability to like catch a pass or he could have the ability to take the offense.
Yes. So if this is true, though, Libra is also a sign that really cares about justice and fairness in the world. It is really a sign that relates to activism, and especially Mars in Libra, because, again, Mars is in fall here, right? Like, this is the warrior consciousness then being put into a position where it cares about the other. It cares about harmony. It cares about the cultivation of peace. So I'm also wondering how that comes into play. Again, I don't really know too much about him, if he is in the realms of social justice or activism.
So his incarnation cross is the right angle cross of tension. Frankie also has this, my partner, but he doesn't have the same number. This is number 3. So this one is a drive to know and have understanding, to feel tension, to acquire skills that support being able to do things deeply. So like you're talking about, I feel like that kind of relates.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like being able to uncover where the tension is and then provide the Libra level of creating the harmony, because really Libra energy understands how to ease the tension and create cooperation.
Yeah, because
utilize the tension to then build a deeper harmony, right? So
and his whole incarnation cross is about getting to the depth so that he can relax into flow, because like
be in peace. Yeah. Literally, if that's true and his ascendant point is in this 3rd decan, of Libra. This, y'all, relates to the decan ruled by Jupiter. And in the tarot, it's the Four of Swords, which is the knight that's laying down. And it's the expansion of peace. Like, that's like, so, yeah, essentially it's like alchemizing all the tension so that he can be in that space of peace and flow and beauty.
And it says with the relaxing away from the tension, that will push him to seek for talent, like to keep learning new skills and keep acquiring and keeping successful. So he has to listen to that rhythm that he has going on in order to like get to the depth of like, why am I feeling that tension? Okay, then I relax and I let go of it, and now I'm in flow, and now I can like pull in all these things and do what I need to do to be successful.
Interesting.
Which would be cool to see, like, synastry wise. Does Taylor help him relax? Does she have any placements that indicate him feeling safe with her? I mean, they both have Jupiter Cancer, so I feel like that's kind of a cool vibe to have the same Jupiter.
Yeah, and especially Jupiter in a conjunction with one another.
Yeah.
And they also have the Chiron piece here, like the Jupiter Chiron. So maybe their connection together heals some sort of karmic lineage wounding that creates that quality of safety, right, in their vulnerability with one another. And what's interesting is that if it is true that he is a Libra rising, then this would place his Jupiterian consciousness up in the 10th house, which Taylor has really expanded for him, right? Like you said, nobody knew who he was until Taylor came into his life. And now with the Jupiter return, it's like, boom. Yeah. His energy is being so expanded where everyone knows him. So that piece is interesting. So, and then also he has a Scorpio Venus. So that's interesting. And his Scorpio Venus is conjunct Eros at 29 degrees here.
Whoa.
I know. That's like...
Do you think he's a really good lover?
Yeah, I think that's why I think they're so magnetic, because if that is true, that Taylor is a Scorpio rising, her ascendant point being in this third decan of Scorpio, that means that her ascendant point is in a conjunction to his natal Venus.
So it's like this like magnetic attraction with each other. Like it's, that totally tracks.
Yes.
And that adds to the magnetism of his like gate of rhythm, right? Like having Eros there. Wow.
Yep.
The god of love.
Yeah, so he also loves to go to the depths. He loves the shadowy pieces. And what's so interesting is that the second house is the house of the material realm, the connection to this physical world. And with the second house Venus, this can kind of, and especially Scorpio, this can kind of be a possessive vibe, like you're mine. Everything with your energy is mine. So it makes sense that they announced this engagement because he's like, I don't want to just date you. Like, I want to literally be enveloped in your energy, intertwined. Because that's really what Scorpionic energy is. Like I was saying in previous episodes, it is a fixed water sign. It's like water that just melds together, and you don't see individual water molecules. You just don't see that. Water just goes all together. The molecules merge. And so that's really what his soul is wanting in love. And just the way that Taylor operates naturally as that magnetic quality, being a Scorpio rising. So, yeah, I think that piece is interesting. And then Eros at 29 degrees, there is some kind of karmic energy for him in this lifetime around fulfilling erotic desires, like having them be fulfilled in a material, physical way in this life. So,
and you know what's interesting is they share a lot of similar gene keys. So even ones that they don't have the specific channel for, they have the same ones. So it's like they're gonna have a lot of similar like energies, right, in their chart. But what I find interesting is like Taylor has the channel of surrender, the instinctual selling one, and Travis has one of the gene keys for that. So when he's in her presence, they also together only in his body activate this instinctual selling thing. So it's interesting that like selling out of that custom like jacket thing that he made with that designer was really interesting. And same with the rhythm channel that Travis has. He completes that same rhythm channel for Taylor because she has only one of the gene keys. And so in his presence, she also feels the channel rhythm around him. So together they're rhythming in their flow and finding their own way. So I find that really interesting. Yeah. But they do have a lot of like the similar ones where they wouldn't create a channel. So I'm like flipping back and forth between my phone to try and see if they have any other ones. And she also completes for him the other two channels that she had that were from the spleen to the root. I can't remember already what I said for them, but the other two channels that she has in her body, she completes them in his presence because he only has one half of each of them. So basically like in her presence, he feels all of the channels that she has and she feels all of the channels that he has. So they're like sharing the same channels. And then they have those two that they create together, the money one. And there is like one other one, or I think that's the only one that I found so far is the money one. So interesting.
The money one's interesting because they both have that Capricorn stellium, which this is obviously a generational thing. Like both you and I have the Uranus Neptune conjunction in
the millennial conjunction.
It is, yep. Hello, fellow millennials out there. Uranus Neptune conjunct in Capricorn. But yeah, he also has the Saturn piece here too, and Vesta in his 4th house. So they have that quality too that I feel like also creates that strong foundation and connection.
Yeah.
So
it's really interesting that like she completes what he naturally like. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. I'm re-looking them up so I can remember what their names are. Yeah. There was something I was going to say. What do you think is the best house to have the Capricorn millennial conjunction in?
My house, the 11th house.
Okay. Tell me why.
I'm biased on that. Just because for me, having that conjunction in the 11th house, it feels like the quality of community that my soul is meant to have is meant to have that Neptunian consciousness of spiritual, otherworldly, mystical, and then the Uranian piece of like just so out there. Like I love having friends that are just so eccentric, so authentic, so themselves, marching to the beat of their own drum. And then, yeah, with the Capricorn piece, like this is all about lineage and tradition. And so what I love to do with my friends is, like we do, hold these circle spaces and hold ceremonies. And like what we're doing is really ancient, right? Like the priestesses in the temples. So I definitely am biased saying that. But yeah, I love having friends that are spiritual. And this took me a long time, right? Because I feel like the Neptunian piece, a lot of my early life, especially when Pluto moved into Capricorn, all those fucking years in my life with Pluto transiting through my 11th house, I dealt with a lot of people just ghosting me, coming in and out of my life. People that weren't consistent had the Neptunian quality of delusion, of not delusion, what am I thinking of? Dissolving, that's the word. So yeah, I really had to learn how to hone this quality in a way that is the Capricorn grounded. But yeah, I love having that conjunction in my 11th house. Personally.
Yeah, because mine
you have
is
it in your 2nd house.
Not the best one to have it in.
Yeah.
Really. Or the 7th house. I had some clients, I'm like, ooh,
yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, they also make together the channel of the alpha. No.
Ooh.
I lied.
What is that?
I lied.
Okay. Never mind, y'all.
Never mind. I think it's this other one. Yeah, it's just the rhythm one. Yeah, so they only make the money one together, and then the ones that they already have are amplified in each other. So it feels like a very like, you see me, I see you, you get me, I get you type of thing. You know, where it's like when I'm in your presence, we're completing the channels that we have, so we're each kind of like vibing on the same frequency. We're understanding each other energetically. It's like making sense because like the way that I process information is the way that you process, and I feel like it's cool because it's like at the same time, because they're completing different ones for each other in each other's bodies, but it's ones that they naturally have in their body, that it's like the partner is seeing new things but being able to be guided by someone who completely understands because they have this within them. And, you know, it's like, oh, like, I'm starting to feel what you talk about all the time. Or, like, I'm experiencing this. And it's like, hey, I've experienced this, too. Like, I totally get what you're going through.
I love that you're bringing that up because they both have Earth sign Mercuries. So Travis has Mercury in Virgo, which is where Mercury exalts. He's a very strong, sharp mind then. And then, like we were talking about, Taylor has Mercury in Capricorn, which is a cardinal Earth sign. So they do get each other in that way because their Mercuries by sign create a natural trine to one another. Yeah. So the way they communicate is grounded. It's practical. It's efficient. They do just get each other. Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah, that feels really cute as like a way that they connect, right? Because a solid foundation for a relationship dynamic, ultimately, it comes down to trust and to your communication with one another. Yeah. And so if they have strong communication, that's amazing. It's something I love about Josh and I too, because our Mercury's also created a by sign trine, me having Mercury Pisces and him having Mercury in Cancer. It's like our mental energy, it's on that same watery
yeah, because I don't have that. We do have telepathy. Yeah. I don't know if y'all and Josh have that. We do have telepathy.
Yeah, we do.
But like, he's a Cancer Mercury, and I'm Gemini Mercury. So it's like,
oh, they don't even see each other. Then
no, they don't. They don't. Yeah. You know the meme where it's like, can you see me? I see you. Yeah, you know that's how I feel all the time. I'm like, you're not understanding me. You're misunderstanding me again.
I'm saying that because for those listening, Gemini and Cancer, like they're
right
literally right next to each other.
They're neighbors.
They don't see each other like the way that an Earth sign would see another.
They can't peek into each other's windows. Yeah. They can only look forward. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. I think because I'm psychic, that helps.
Yes.
It helps. I feel like if I wasn't a psychic, I would have pulled my hair out or something. Like I would have died.
Yeah, having compatible Mercuries, I feel like does support a foundational structure for a long-term dynamic, but then again, there are so many other aspects to your astrology chart.
I think it's also good to like know, just like when I learned, oh, he has a Cancer Mercury, it's like, so the energy or like the tone or the vibe that I use to speak to him with is more important than the words that I say to him. Yeah. So it's like, okay, now that I know that, that's not that hard to like adjust for myself, right? Or like if I am having like a weird energy coming off of me because I'm upset, like I'll just make sure to explain what that is to him. Yes. So I'm like, I know you're feeling this probably, but don't take it this way. This is where the energy is coming from. And he's like, thank you, because like I was feeling that and I was assuming it was this or that or that. But for me, on the other hand, it's very hard because Gemini Mercury is like, words, use more words, use all the words, any of the words, describe everything. I wish he would like narrate his life like we're in a documentary or something, right? And he's just like, feelings. And I'm like, words? Words? Can you tell me words about your feelings? And he's like, just, I don't know, I have feelings. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I need words. But it's actually kind of cute because when we first, the first few years, he would like leave me little notes and things everywhere. So that's like really cute for like Gemini Mercury. It's like he would write me, he would process his feelings into words and then he would share them with me. So
that's cute. I love that.
I also forgot to share Travis's profile line. He is a 3-6, which is called the living contrast because
that's Josh.
3-6. Yeah. So it's like the 3 line. And not
Golden
beating
retriever.
those. I know, I was gonna say the same thing. Not beating those allegations. Yeah. So the 3 line is called the martyr. So they're here to like throw themselves into it, learn as they go. It's all about the journey. It's all about the experience. They have to experience things for themselves in order for them to understand it. And then the 6 line is called the role model. The 6 line is like here to just be a beacon, a teacher for others or an inspirer for others, just by being exactly authentically who they are. Like they're not like the 5 line, how we saw Taylor's a 5-1. Like she's here to teach. She's literally here to teach others. But Travis is not going to be like one-on-one, holding people's hands, explaining concepts. He's going to teach just through being himself, like a role model. Like, oh, I love how he does this, or like I'm seeing him especially with the rhythm gates that he has. Like people probably see him living his life in his own rhythm and empowering himself to do that, and then they get inspired to follow their own instincts or their own intuition or their own rhythms and needs. That's going to be, and he's going to do it through making mistakes. As the 3 line, we have to be I'm a 3 line too. We have to be very comfortable with making mistakes. So it's like he learns through his experience. Oh, I did that. That didn't work. That doesn't feel good in my rhythm. I did that. That felt really good in my rhythm. And then he's going to keep adding that to embodying his authentic self. That's why it's like a living contrast, because it's like doing versus being is the 3, the 6, 3. It's like doing is 3 line, 6 is being.
I love that though, because his guardian angel, right? So is the 39th angel, Rehael. So if you were born also between October 4th to October 8th, this is also your guardian angel. And this is known as the aspect of source consciousness that is the quickly forgiving frequency.
Not beating
and so I think that's so needed, right? As a 3 line, if you're experimenting and you
have to get comfortable with making mistakes and failing.
Yeah, and then practicing self-forgiveness too in the process. So I think that's really interesting, and I would be curious to know how forgiveness has played a role within Travis's life in general, and like how that has been a theme, especially if he has been experimenting and things maybe don't pan out, or like does he practice self-forgiveness? Interesting.
And the interesting thing about the 6 line is that until your Saturn returns, so from 0 to 29, a 6 line operates as a 3 line. So from ages 0 to 29, he was a 3 line. He was just moving through life, figuring it out, making mistakes, learning the hard way, doing all of these different things. And I don't think the 3 line is called the martyr. I think I mixed that up. But now that he's past his Saturn return, he's beginning to step more into the 6 line. And when you do pass your Saturn return, you start to like become like less, you become more like detached or more aloof, but not in a bad way. It's like I'm not like in there in the trenches getting my hands dirty, experimenting. I'm like coming out, and I'm like I'm not as like hands-on. I'm like seeing it from a bigger picture, a higher perspective. I don't have as much energy to output as anymore type of vibe.
Yeah. Interesting. So we're going to see more of his journey as he matures then, which makes sense too for his Saturn and all of that, Neptune, Uranus being in his 4th house too. I think the more he like roots into his authenticity and in his power, we'll see how that sort of shifts.
I wonder if like a family member died when he went through his Saturn return.
Yeah.
Because he has the Saturn there. Says that his father is a former sales representative in the steel industry and his mom's a former bank executive. And he's an older brother who also plays for the Eagles.
Neptune in the 4th house is a signature of someone who is very psychic, right? Having Neptune in your roots and your foundation. So oftentimes that is a lineage gift of psychic abilities. So there's that piece. And then the Uranus in the fourth house is interesting because that's all about shifts and changes and upheavals. It oftentimes represents being like the rebel in the family structure and then finding your own family or your own chosen family. But then the Capricorn piece is interesting because I wonder if his early life, it was very strict. Maybe there were a lot of rules, a lot of responsibilities placed on him. He learned about creating structure, and also that's the Saturn in his fourth house too. But he is responsible to create his family, his roots, his home in a way that feels practical and efficient for him. So I'm just going to throw this out there. I would not be surprised if Taylor and Travis end up having a child.
Yeah.
Because if it is true that he's a Libra rising, this would suggest then that his, like I was telling you, all of you earlier, that his south node, same as Taylor's, is in Leo. Well, his north node then would be in Aquarius in his fifth house, the house of children.
Stop beating the allegations.
It's like
the whole episode. Yeah. Interesting.
I wouldn't be
It says
surprised.
he was on a dating show and he won the dating show. And then he like dated that woman and then they broke up. That feels like another like Jupiter Cancer 10th house moment.
Yeah. Where there was a tenderness, that Chiron piece there.
She was a social media influencer. They dated for like 5 years. And then he met Taylor right after that.
Yeah. And I think he manifested that by just saying on a podcast he wanted to date her, and then it ended up happening.
And so wait, how old is he now?
He's past his Saturn return for sure.
Let's see, math. 89. He's 36.
Yeah.
So that actually kind of, let's see, 2019. So he went through his Saturn return during the relationship with this other woman, Kayla.
Yeah. Interesting. And if it is true that Travis is a Libra rising, this would mean that his seventh house is Aries, and he would then have Athena here in Aries, which I think that that's interesting because Athena is this multifaceted warrior goddess, and that's sort of what Taylor is giving, this like multifaceted warrior goddess who's independent, right? And in Taylor's chart, she has Athena in Pisces in her fifth house, which is like, of course, she has all these multitude of gifts when it comes to her artistry. Sings, dance, produces, all of this stuff, right? So, yeah, I think that piece is interesting.
He won his first Super Bowl during his Saturn return. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the following season, he signed a 4-year, $57 million contract extension with the Chiefs through 2025.
Wow.
So
he really started to craft
secured the bag.
His legacy. And that's, I mean, Saturn and Capricorn, for the souls who have Saturn and Capricorn, there is a responsibility to your legacy, to what you're leaving behind. And the practical, efficient systems that you have set up in your life that then sustain whatever the legacy is that you're here to leave. So there's that. And this man clearly, he understood the cosmic assignment, as he liked to say here. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, he was 3 Super Bowls under his belt. Wow. Yeah, he had his own he had his own dating reality show. That's where he met that woman. So he was kind of like popular. We just like aren't.
Yeah.
We're just not football people.
Yeah, not sporty people.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah, his life path is 6, and that then indicates that his soul card is the Lovers. So that's interesting too, that the 6 is really all about creating a solid foundation. And that's interesting with this 4th house stellium that he has.
Yeah.
So
I just get the sense that he's like a very like solid foundation, like a strong person in the family. Like it's like if mom is upset, she knows she can like come and like cry to me.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is a very Sag moon thing. I feel like Sag is so philosophical and like higher level that they're able to like hear intense things and not like freak out or like get scared or like it's like I see them like sitting in the seat of like, what do you need right now, and I'll provide that.
Especially a rejoicing moon, right? Like being able to talk about all of those things, feelings, the communication. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like he has like astute or insightful, especially because his purpose is about going to the depths of things. He's probably like, well, let's talk about it, dude. Like, how you feeling about that? Excuse me.
Yes. And he was born under like a 1st quarter moon too, which then indicates it's like the crisis in consciousness kind of aspect where the moon is starting to like gain her light. And so it's the ability, like that's the moon phase that you want to go to in the midst of a crisis. Like they're the people that know how to manage things quickly and fastly. Yeah. So interesting.
It's pretty good synastry on both ends.
I think they do have really good synastry together. So. I'm really loving the sun and her sun conjunct his moon. I'm loving her ascendant point conjunct his natal Venus. I'm loving the North Node in Aquarius around her Venus. I think that that's really sweet, and I love the Earth sign Mercury's. I think that that's beautiful, and then the both the Jupiter Cancer piece, and that they're announcing this engagement in the midst of their Jupiter return, both of them. Yeah, and they both have Jupiter in the upper quadrants, right? Taylor in the 9th, if this is true. Travis in the 10th, if that's true.
Yeah, public, very public people.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna sip on the tea.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
so we'll see when they actually do get married. The one thing we were talking about earlier is that they announced their engagement, they probably got engaged because we don't know the actual date of their engagement.
We tried looking it up,
but they probably got engaged during a Mercury retrograde. So there's that.
But they did the good thing, and they didn't announce it until after.
And it was probably during the Mars and Saturn opposition. Saturn was in Aries, Mars was in Libra. It was probably during that little period too, which was also like.
But if he has like the Libra rising, Mars was there, and he was probably feeling like, I just got to do it.
Yeah. So.
They also have busy schedules and stuff.
But the engagement isn't as, like, the actual asking of the question isn't as potent for the determination of the dynamic as the date that they choose for their engagement. And I wouldn't be surprised with their scorpionic energy together if Taylor does believe in divination, occult systems, if she has an astrologer that's already mapping out the date for their engagement, I would not be surprised. So I just hope that y'all don't choose a date that is a Mercury retrograde date for your actual wedding, Taylor and Travis. Because if you do like want this dynamic to be sustainable and have a child together, which I do see them having a child together.
I could see that for sure.
Then just for the longevity aspect, are you looking up if they already have a potential date announced?
No, I was seeing if Taylor Swift is witchy. Like, if she,
okay. What does it say?
She says that she's a Christian, and she's gotten some hate for using witchy imagery or words in her music and in her music videos, because she does have like songs that like are like pro witchy things, but she's never like said that she's like a witch.
Yeah, that's the scorpionic energy though, of being mysterious. But like, we're just witches, so you know, it's like,
well, and you said she has like her Lilith there, right?
So this is Travis. Yeah, she has Lilith in her first house.
So that'll also be the allegations, because even this thing is like the critical perspective is that her art uses symbolisms to explore empowerment, femininity, rebellion. And so it's like, that's all like Lilith stuff right there. So it makes sense why people would be like casting that more harsh eye on her.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Scorpio also has that kind of frequency of like the like getting attention in the negative way.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in the episode. Yeah.
So it kind of tracks anyways that like either side is judging her for it.
Yeah.
I mean, the witches aren't judging her, but the Christians are. So
yeah.
Or the non-witches, I suppose. They don't need to be Christian.
Yeah. I mean, this episode, we're not judging either of them. We're just stating the astrological things
and that we don't like their music.
I do like some of Taylor's songs. My little niece Julia, her favorite song is 22. And so I told her for her 22nd birthday she could blast that song and we'll take her somewhere fun.
That's like a common thing.
That's her favorite song still by the time she's 22.
Yeah. But it's still like when there's like the songs that are like the a year that you're turning into, it's like fun to use them.
Yeah.
So yeah. But for us it would be the Blink-182 one. Nobody likes you when you're 22.
Yes.
Because Frankie and I are like super Frankie and I are super into that. So like for a number of years, it's like each in the 20s, there's like songs about each 20 year. So we were like using those on like our posts and stuff. So I'm like, I definitely use the Blink-182 one.
Yes. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, let us know. Do you want more? Do you want less? Did we cover? Did we miss things?
Yeah, I feel like the Swifties listening will definitely be able to share more input on what I was sharing about Taylor being a Scorpio rising and having these little Easter eggs and different things that she puts as the mystery. It's wild how deep y'all go and how much
they do
know.
I was even looking up the witchy stuff and they're like, they're analyzing to see if she has like witchy messages in here. But it's because they're so like, I need to consume more, you know?
Exactly. That's the Scorpio rising though energy. It's like,
it's obsessive.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, let us know if you enjoyed this episode, if you liked sipping this Taylor Travis tea. Going back to like high school with us, with your favorite, what do they say, gym teacher and English teacher?
Yeah. That's also, that makes sense being a 5 line. It's like, I'm your teacher and you were talking about how she has like the 11th house MC. Like she cares about her community. She sees herself as like a figure in their community that gives them advice, but isn't like their mom, you know? She's like, I'm your like gym teacher. I'm your English teacher, you know, vibe.
Yes. And then him having the South Node potentially in the 11th house. Same kind of vibe.
Sick. So. Yay! All right, well, we'll see you next time.
Yes, thanks for sipping that celestial tea with us, y'all. Bye!
Bye!
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Celestial Tea Podcast.
If you enjoyed our hot takes and breakdowns, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you stream, share with your friends and fam, and follow us on all the socials.
Let us know if there is a pop culture icon or a phenomenon that you want us to look at next. Tune in next week for another piping hot cup of celestial tea. Cute.